everybody, and welcome to the Coach Curt Cignetti Show. We talk about IUP Crimson Hawks football. Jack Benedict here, and big win last week at home over Clarion, 42-17. Coach, we've talked a couple of weeks here about slow starts, fast starts. First half was not a real good start, was it?
First 5 minutes of the game was a fast start. We're up 7-0, and but then we just kind of got out of sync offensively, and defense played pretty well. Just gave up one big play, and then drive in the second at the end of the half. So it was tough conditions, but it was tough on both teams, and we went in the locker room down 14-7.
Yeah, and the penalties didn't help in the first half.
No, untimely penalties. I felt like every time I turned around in the second quarter, it was 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. So it's tough to overcome those, kind of penalties that set you back 10, 15 yards. Yeah,
14-7 at the half. I think you had mentioned now in the postgame, you gave a lot of credit to your coaches for getting through to your players at halftime on what was expected in the second half.
Well, we went in there and didn't expect to be in that position, so there was some frustration and anxiety. So I thought the best approach at that point was just to keep calm, and we did that and basically said, look, erase the tape, it's over, it's gone, it's history, don't even think about it, okay? Get it out of your mind, and let's go out and do what we have to do, execute one play at a time, everybody do their job, and just slow things down a little bit, and let's go out and play.
Yeah, and you took total control. Big play in the game, second week in a row, big pass play, 68 yards this time to Allen Wright from Lenny. Boy, that just brought everybody up, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a big play. We moved the ball pretty well the first series and fumbled, and second play of the second series, we hit Allen over the middle, and safeties collided, and he went 68 for a touchdown. That was huge, and that got us going.
I know some of the fans have said, where'd this guy come from, But I know he's been trying to encourage offense, and he's been a defensive player. He's a guy who could go both ways for you, but boy, he's got great speed, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's in his third year. He's played corner the first 2 years, and he played offense in high school, and he's been after me about playing offense, and so we gave him that opportunity in the spring, and he's just had 3 great games in a row.
Yeah, he has. You really took control in the second half when you look at the final analysis. 87 plays in the game. You had over 400 yards rushing. Boy, that's that's taking the game over.
Yeah, the second half was a dominant performance. We outgained Clarion around 370 to 42 or 45. Outscored them 35-3. Still had 2 turnovers. Had a turnover on offense the first drive of the second half and muffed a punt early in the third quarter. So, but we took the game over physically on both sides of the football. And, we played like we were capable of playing.
That one ball that they stripped from Lenny, I thought he was out of bounds, but I guess he had not gotten out of bounds. But it was more like a steal than a fumble.
Yeah, it was a strip, and the ball came up in the air right into their guy's hands. And,
so those things happen. But overall, we've talked on the turnover margin. You've been tops in the country, and of course with 3 interceptions, that helped tremendously.
No doubt, taking the ball away, and we're doing a really good job on defense, taking the ball away. And we're still up there at the top in the turnover margin, and hopefully at the end of next week we will be too.
411 yards rushing, and I'd mentioned to you, and I know you said you're not a big stat man, but in '94, 22 years ago was the last time there were 3 running backs over 100 yards. So you had Temple, Bullock, and then Lenny. That's a great tribute to them and to your offensive line.
Yeah, no question. Everybody that's involved in the run game, which is all 11 guys, did a terrific job. Of course, that starts up front always with those 5, and the tight end, Kevin Edwards, played extremely well, Rex Pierce. And the backs ran good. Lenny made the right reads, good perimeter blocking. And, we ran the ball pretty well, actually, in the first half, too. We got behind on the down and distance a couple times. And, once we got it going, we just stayed with it. And, we were bigger and stronger than Clarion. And we wore them down. And I think our last 26 out of 27 plays were runs.
The team needs to be in condition, and you've push that all the way. Fourth quarter, we got to have.
Right.
Are you pretty satisfied with the way it's gone here, so far? And of course, you're 6-1, but when you get to that fourth quarter, you just try to outstamina somebody.
Yeah, no doubt. We're at the time of the year now where everything that you've done leading up to this point, builds on every day. So I think we're in pretty good shape. We still condition throughout the week. We've got pretty good depth. We're able to play players at certain positions. So I think and we're getting healthy. I think we're starting to get healthier. We're in a pretty good spot right now.
I want to bring up a player. A lot of times I like to single out a certain player, although this certainly is the great team game. But DeAndre Easterling gets 6 tackles, 3 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss. He shows great speed on the outside.
Right.
Just a couple of year guy. I mean, he can even get better, can't he?
Oh, there's no question. And he's a sophomore, a true sophomore. Didn't redshirt as a freshman. Started games last year as a freshman. And Clarion had a really difficult time blocking him. He's extremely quick. He was in their backfield all day long, and he's put together 3 or 4 really good games in a row now. And we played well up front. We dominated, their line. Put pressure on the quarterback. Kevin Clark had another big day. I think he had 16 tackles. He had a really good interception. Jay Watkins played extremely well again in the secondary. So, in all, I thought defensively, you take out the long run, the 68-yard run in the first half, they didn't get a whole lot done after that.
That's just a certain breakdown on a certain play, right? I mean, you were blitzing on the play?
Yeah, it was a long yard situation. We actually were not in the blitz. We were in a little different coverage than we normally play. They ran a play that's a run-pass option. It's a run, but the quarterback can throw a pass. We were all sort of covering the pass, and he handed the ball off, and the guy's fast, and he was gone.
Gannon is next up. They are 4-4 on the year. They started out 3-0. But you mentioned to me, we've talked about it, it seems as though, I know they gave Cal a pretty good battle last week.
Yeah.
They seem to be improving, you think, even though the record's going the other way?
I think they're very, very much improved, as a football team over last year, and they did get off to a 3-0 start, and, they've stubbed their toe a little bit. The Cal game was 0-0 with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, and Gannon had actually missed a field goal up to that point and faked a field goal that they didn't convert on. So they were taking it to them pretty good. And then the game tilted a little bit in Cal's favor. But, Gannon offensively is very diverse. They do a lot of nice stuff on offense. The quarterback runs the ball a lot. Backs are good. Got a couple good receivers. The line's functioning well. On defense, they're very aggressive. They run to the ball, get after you. Got some good players back there. And, they've had some injuries in the secondary, but now they're healthy. Cal was the first game where they were really healthy. And it's going to be a tremendous challenge to go up to Gannon and play. And we're going to have to play very well. We're really going to have to be on our game this week.
Well, we talked about weather conditions last Saturday here in Indiana. When you go to Erie, you never know. Well, let me ask you this. How difficult is it playing at Gannon, that intimate situation there, everything's so tight, the sidelines close. I know you play within the lines.
That's right.
And I know you never know if there's 50,000 or 5,000 in the crowd. But I guess it's getting there and getting settled in and then getting a good start again.
Yeah. Well, I like traveling up to, the Erie area. We stay in a nice hotel. We get a good night's sleep. Like you said, it's 100 yards and 52 plus, and so I don't really notice it. And, it is a unique stadium.
Yeah.
They pride themselves on playing well at home. So, it'll be a big game.
Yeah, Coach has been there for a while, so the program has come along. They've been up and down in different years, but as you said, they're coming off a game which they've played pretty well. You need to keep momentum and keep getting better in the second half of the year, and there's no question. We know what has to be done for this year. There are a lot of good teams in the region out there, but you just focus, and the team seems to be the type of team that's like, this is the only game we think about.
Well, that's what we try to do and try to get done. And, last week, there was the fear of a letdown. I knew that. you try to do everything you can to prevent it from happening. And I thought we were in pretty good shape heading in. I mean, I saw a few signs Saturday before pregame that had me concerned a little bit. And, we were put in a position where our backs had to be against the wall to regain our mental focus and intensity, which enabled us to play well. So, I'm thinking that we won't have that issue this week. Gannon has become sort of a rivalry game. It's been a very, intense game the last 3 or 4 years with both teams playing really hard.
Yeah.
And I think our guys know that, we've got to get ready to go.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned to me and to others that a lot of times it's easier to play on the road, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, easier, harder. One thing when you do go on the road, Friday night you're all in the hotel there together, and you know where they're all, what time they're going to bed.
Yeah, you're keeping track as we
right.
do as fathers and grandfathers, I guess. Well, we know what has to be done. Looks like you're starting to heal injury-wise, maybe get some of these guys back. I know you held Walt Pegues out. People wondered where
Right.
maybe, but you want to make sure with him, don't you?
Yeah, and I think he's rounding back into form, and I'm pretty confident he's going to be available this week. So.
Good. Sounds good. All right, keep it going. Good luck in Erie, and we'll see you there. And, go out and try to get another one, huh?
Thanks, Jack.
Okay. Coach Cignetti, it's Gannon. Remember, it's a kickoff at noon. It's not a far drive, not at all, to Erie. So we always have some fans on the road. That'll be good. We'll have radio and TV coverage for you this weekend. We'll talk with you next week. IUP Crimson Hawks football with Coach Cignetti. This is Jack Benedict. Have a nice evening.